Welcome into Eye on Northeast Kansas, the podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Bruner. This is where we recap some of the top interviews you saw on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the TV show. It airs live 4 o'clock Central Time from our WIBW studios in the capital of Kansas, the great city of Topeka. Glad you're along with us again this week. We had a great time looking ahead to some various holiday events all around the area, but also getting some good information. One of our guests was the Kansas Commissioner of Insurance, Vicki Schmidt. She said that her office, part of what they do, is crack down on fraud. So we visited a bit about insurance fraud and also why she says that is something that actually is not a victimless crime. It's something that can cost all of us in the form of higher insurance premiums. Also, the city of Topeka is among those with a hospital that is impacted by a security breach, a cyber attack that happened against Ardent Health Systems. University of Kansas Health System St. Francis campus in Topeka is part of the Ardent Health System and one of those that is impacted by this security attack that they have been dealing with. In terms of how it impacts the hospitals, we've been reporting on that on the news, but what does it mean if you've ever been a patient there and the potential data that could be compromised? The insurance commissioner weighed in on that as well. Welcome. Good
Thank
to
you
see
so much
you
for
here.
having me.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Great Thanksgiving. How about you?
It was good. It was good because I stayed home and didn't get into any wrecks on the road, which is one way insurance fraud can happen. How much fraud is out there?
Way more than I'd like to admit. The FBI estimates that it costs every American family between $300 and $700 a year more for insurance because of all the fraud that happens. There's a consumer fraud insurance agency advisory committee, and they estimate that it's over $300 billion in fraud every year. And people think that it's a victimless crime, but it is not. So, we have all kinds of examples of fraudulent activity. One that we see a significant amount of is you get in a car accident and it's real easy to sit on your phone and buy insurance after the fact on your phone.
Right.
And all that's time stamped. So including the time of the wreck and things. So it's called past posting, or I like to call it bump and buy. So bump and then you buy.
Yeah.
That's a crime. And it's not a victimless crime. All of us pay for that fraudulent activity. We investigate those cases. Last year we had over 900 cases that were referred to us for insurance fraud, and already this year we've had over 800.
But some people would say, Commissioner, the insurance companies, just make them eat the losses. They make lots of profits. Why can't you just make them eat the losses and not let people suffer?
And and that is what people think, that I've paid these premiums for a long time and now and I've never had a claim, and so the insurance company owes me. That's not the way insurance works. It's a risk-based insurance. It's a risk-based business, and count your blessings if you never had to turn in a claim.
It's comforting to have it there. Another thing that's happening this time of year is Medicare open enrollment, and I know that there are folks who are getting telemarketing calls after telemarketing calls, robocalls from them trying to change their plans, change their policy. And obviously there is some legitimate work you're encouraged to do this time of year to make sure that your policy or the policy of a loved one is up to date. But what do we need to be mindful of with all those calls and mailings that we're getting?
Well, know what you're signing up for, number one, and it's a bad time of year. People's phone lines are ringing off the wall. You're getting mail. Well, the phones aren't ringing off the wall anymore, are they? I'm showing my age.
Wherever you set them.
They're picking up the phone.
Yeah.
But, getting all this mail and everything and encouraging you. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. There are a couple of dates you need to be aware of. December 15th is the end of open enrollment for coverage that starts January 1st. Open enrollment does go until January 14th, but then the coverage wouldn't start until February 1st.
Okay.
But December 15th is really a key date, so get your decisions made. There are plenty of people around to help with those decisions. You can call the department, 1-800-432-2484.
You've got that number. You've got consumer folks who are there to help.
We've got consumer folks who are ready to help, and don't want anyone. I hate it when people said, I didn't even know I switched. Because that's how some of those phone calls happen. So
Yeah. I do want to ask you real quickly, and I know you can't comment on the specifics of it, but we've been reporting about Ardent Health nationwide having a security incident, some kind of ransomware attack of some sort, and that they do not yet know the extent to which personal information is compromised. Obviously, we are handing over our insurance information to healthcare. What should we be doing just in case any of that information maybe got into the wrong hands through this data breach?
Actually should be doing the same thing you should be doing right now, even if there wasn't a breach somewhere. That is, look at your credit card statements, look at your bank statements, and make sure you don't have any charges that you can't identify. Make sure that, and with your healthcare information, if you haven't gone to the doctor and you got an explanation of benefits that's charging your insurance company for a visit, and you know you didn't go to the doctor, you need to reach out back to the facility or back to your insurance company and to make sure that it wasn't a fraudulent claim. Okay, so just be vigilant as all of those things get sorted out. Commissioner Vicki Schmidt, appreciate you being here, and we'll make sure that that insurance consumer assistance line is put on our website as well so that you know where to find it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Always good to see you. Always good information. Remember, the Kansas Insurance Office does have that consumer assistance line if you have questions or concerns about your dealings with an insurance company. Data is exactly what the Greater Topeka Partnership's Topeka Area Sports Commission hopes to gather. They have a survey that is online. It's only 6 questions long. They want to know about people's habits when it comes to amateur sports, perhaps youth sports and other activities. How much are people traveling? How much money could Topeka and Shawnee County be losing because we don't have certain facilities or opportunities here? Mike Bell is the director of the Topeka Area Sports Commission. He told us about the survey and what they hope to gain from it. Yes. When did you launch this, Mike, and what's it all about?
Well, we launched this survey in the first part of November, and when I started the Sports Commission and talk about the Sports Commission, everybody says, I hate to travel, or I have to travel so far, and we'd love to have X facility in our city. And those are great words that I hear, and I just had no way to quantify it. So I wanted to build a survey to take a look at those folks that are traveling outside of the community and see where they go, what they play, and how far they're traveling. So it's 6 questions. 6 questions. What are those questions? You don't have to say them exactly, but what are the 6 questions dealing with? There are 6 easy questions. How far do you travel? How often do you travel? How many people are in the party? Where do you go? Name that city. And then where are you from, the county or the area? So your zip code. Is this survey then targeted toward people who actually are doing that traveling? Absolutely. Because there's no option for 0. I kind of looked at it, and there's no option for people who aren't traveling right now. Right. Why are you really wanting to zero in on those who actually are doing the traveling right now? Well, really what we want to see is what is the economic outflow. So everybody that travels, it seems, sometimes they have to stay a night in a hotel, they have to go get gas and restaurants, and they have to spend a lot of money, and that's spending outside of our community. One thing that I'm looking to do is, for the future, is to see how can we bring some of that money back. One thing I've found so far, because we've had some responses, is folks are traveling more than 11 times a year outside of the market and traveling more than 50 or 60 miles. So that's a night in the hotel, and it's a tank of gas. So we want to make sure that we're trying to bring some of those dollars back. Are you only wanting to hear from, I guess when I first hear this, I'm thinking youth sports and parents who are taking kids to tournaments or elite leagues or things like that. Can this be more than that? Because you're actually terming amateur sports. Amateur sports. So I don't want to know if you go see the Chiefs, because that's not something that we would probably ever compete on. But I do want to know if you travel out to play basketball, if you're an adult or a youth, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, if you're playing sports outside the community at an amateur level, we want to know that. How could this drive future decisions? Well, I think that, we have a lot of folks that come and talk to us and they say, I think we should have X, whatever that facility is. With this data, we can start to really learn what our market is, where our market's going, and we can look at it and say, boy, it would make some fiscal sense to start to build or recruit to build XYZ facility. So if that's a new sheet of ice in Topeka. I was going to say, a lot of people have been talking about hockey when they've been discussing this survey. Of course. So if that's a new sheet of ice, let's talk about it, let's look at it, and let's, if we need to go down a path that we can find some more statistical data, this is at least just the start. What do you hope to do once you have these results compiled? What would be the next step, and how quickly could that next step happen? Really, it's looking at the economic impact. Probably in Q1, we would put out kind of what we find, what the findings are from this. We're still gathering today. We're over 1,000 people have responded. We're lucky that our partner Shawnee County Parks and Rec just put it on their Facebook page this morning. So we're still gathering that data. What we look to do is compile it and just kind of tell everybody where we're at. And once we get those folks to come in and pitch ideas, we can really talk about those statistical pieces.
Well, it's probably good timing because you'll have the data early in 2024, so that perhaps when the budget decisions start being made later in 2024, instead of getting it at the end of the year and then waiting a whole other year, you're going to have data earlier in the year.
Sure, and when we start to talk about big facilities, I mean these are big budget items that really need a long lead up time and a long runway. So. So we talk about something today, it could not be built in for 3 or 4 years. Okay.
When do you want people to respond by?
We've only got it up until the end of this.
And we can put this, because there's a QR code to take you right to the survey.
Absolutely.
But again, you want people to respond by when?
End of the month. So we've just a couple more days. So we might keep it open a little bit longer, but we'd love to see it by the end of the month.
All right, so I'll have the link posted on WIBW.com as well. So get in there and answer the sports survey questions. Mike, we will wait to hear back from you when those results are compiled.
Excellent.
And you can revisit and let us know what you found.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That survey should be open for a few more days. We have the link on the Eye on Northeast Kansas page of WIBW.com, and we'll, of course, be keeping everybody posted on what the results are. The Topeka Zoo is in the middle of a wonderful time of year. The Topeka Zoo Lights activity and display is back. While you're enjoying the lights, this is also a good time of year to practice conservation efforts. The zoo can help you out with a couple of those. Shanna Simpson from the zoo stopped in to fill us in.
Looking very festive in your Zoo Lights scarf.
Hello, hello. I know it's a little chilly in here in the studio, so.
It's actually not, but she's
It's
prepared.
actually hot.
And I hope you did not steal those from the Zoo Lights display, you Grinch.
I did. Zoo Lights is over for the night.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. Please go to Zoo Lights. I'm kidding.
It's actually been super fun.
Yes.
So before we get to why you have an old set of lights there, what is Zoo Lights like this year? What can people expect?
Sure. So obviously this year we've got the entire zoo decked out, which the zoo's even bigger and better now because we have the brand new giraffe enclosure that opened up in March. So all of that is lit up, and so it's just, we've got new frames. We call them frames. And so they're, shapes and all different animals and different things, and we light those up. So, and then also things to note is that Santa is actually in the big gauge shelter house today. He's moved. So
he's got a bigger, better place to hang out.
He does. He has a bigger, better, and warmer place. Santa and Mrs. Claus were getting a little cold in last year's North Pole area. So we moved Santa inside. So people are saying that they are not seeing Santa, that Santa's not there this year. It's not true. Santa's there every day, and he is in the big gauge shelter house. So you just got to follow the signs.
And we have been out to get some video. So we want to show video of what we're talking about. Also, people should know that there is another entrance, too. There are 2 places you can enter.
There is the main entrance, obviously, that everybody knows, and then there's what we call the south entrance, which is kind of behind Helen Hawker Theater. And there is no line and a huge parking lot right over there, and I think people just kind of don't know about it. So yeah, you skip the lines, you go straight into the zoo over there. That's the best place to go into the zoo.
Now we've let the secret out, though.
I know, shoot.
How magical was it? Because Zoo Lights did not close in that Saturday night snow.
Yes, we did not. We were open during the snow, and it was, I mean, I know it sounds so cheesy, but it was so magical. Like it was a winter wonderland, and it was beautiful. So we posted some pictures of it on our social media because it was just stunning.
It was very incredible to see, and it was funny to hear you all say, "We're still here.
We're still here. Everybody come.
And it's reflecting off the snow." But of course, you don't throw the lights, at least not all the lights out every year. But people the season ends, the lights don't work, or you get them out, they don't work. What are you guys doing to help recycle lights?
Yeah, so this year, again, we are doing a Christmas lights recycling program. So, we decorated for Christmas at my house about 2 weeks ago, and, you pull the string out, and you plug them in and they don't work, and you're like, oh crap, throw them away, right?
Right.
Well, no, don't throw them away. You can actually take them to the zoo and we recycle them. There's a program out in Kansas City that actually takes these guys and recycles them and makes new Christmas lights out of them, which is so cool. It keeps them out of the landfill, and it's just a really great recycling program. That's what we always want to try to talk about, conservation and recycling, right? So all you have to do is just literally pull up into the front of the zoo. You get out, You throw them in the box and you leave. You don't even have to go into the zoo. So it's really
And you're
easy.
doing that now already.
Yes, we're
okay.
doing that now up until January 15th. So after Christmas, when you tear your stuff down and it's broken, you drop them, whatever, bring them to the zoo.
And there's something more. So the animals don't play with these.
No, that would be bad.
But the animals could play with something else. If we have a
Yes.
live Christmas tree, what do you want people to keep in mind once Christmas is over and they take that live tree down?
Yes, so once Christmas is over and you have your live tree and you remove all your ornaments and all your hooks and all your pretty tinsel, you can actually bring that tree to the zoo, and our animals love Christmas trees. They love to play with live Christmas trees. So the tigers rip them to shreds and make these amazing beds out of them. The elephants like to eat them. The giraffes scratch all over them. Like, our animals love Christmas trees.
They don't care about the sap that comes out.
No, they don't care at all. We do. We have to carry it into the animal enclosures. We get it all over us. It's like Christmas Vacation when you're turning the magazine.
Yeah.
That scene, that's what we look like. But yeah, so, that's another thing is we don't want your tree to end up in a landfill, or just, wasting space, and, bring it to us and we will recycle it, use it for our animals. And it's just a really cool program.
And that will start December 26th.
That starts the 26th.
Because they're not Grinches.
Yes, don't take your tree down until the 26th.
Okay,
That's
very
right.
good. Thank you so much for filling us in on all of
thank
that.
you.
Zoo Lights, topekazoo.org. You can get your tickets now. Zoo Lights open nightly. Thank you so much, Shanna.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Melissa.
it.
You're always wondering what to do with those old unworking lights. The zoo can help you out, and they also have a fun way for you to give new life to that live Christmas tree once the season is over. The season also means a lot of holiday music, and we had a couple of great guests over the week. A lot of groups have been planning their holiday concerts. One of those is a little unique because they are also men and women who are serving our country. The 1st Infantry Division Band, based at Fort Riley, has their series of holiday concerts coming up. They are free, and they go to a couple communities that are not too far from Fort Riley to share their talents. Their conductor, Chief Warrant Officer Brian Dorgan, visited to tell us about the band.
Appreciate you coming over.
Thanks for having me.
The 1st Infantry Division Band, what is your mission in how you serve the country?
So we render honors for those who have served, who serve currently. We preserve the traditions of the United States Army, and my favorite part is bringing the fun. We raise morale and really work with our soldiers and their families, as well as the members of the surrounding communities that help us, that we all live in, really.
You're the conductor of the band.
Yes.
How many members?
We have 33 members right now.
33 members right now. How do you find them? I was kind of saying, is this like a chicken and egg thing where you find soldiers and you say, hey, you've got an interest in music, come on over, I'm recruiting you to the band side of things? Or do you specifically find people who have an interest in music and then convince them to enlist in the Army?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah?
Yeah, so like I was telling you, my friends joined and they let me know about this opportunity, and they were like, hey, the band's real great. They have the loan repayment program. I just got out of grad school. And so I auditioned, and I said, I'll try this for a couple of years and pay off my loans, and then.
How many years later is it now?
14.
14 years later, after a couple of years,
so
just to pay off the
I
loans.
immediately loved it.
How do you see it as the best of all worlds, exactly? That you get to serve your country, but also pursue your passion for music?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, not only just my singular passion at the time was trombone. I'm a trombone player by trade, and the Army allowed me to do other things like arrange music, conduct, and things, lead ensembles, things like that. So it's just been a real blessing, and it's just great to serve those that serve.
We have your fine public affairs folks. We're able to kind of peek in on a rehearsal. So let's give just a little bit of a listen to the 1st Infantry Division Band, if we will. If we want to hear the big payoff, we have to go see you in concert.
Yes, absolutely.
How long do you plan? There are holiday concerts that you have coming up. How long do you plan those, and what kind of rehearsal schedule do y'all keep up?
Well, usually it's the quarter prior to, so this quarter gets very busy for us with all the holidays, with Veterans Day and Christmas and whatnot. So we start about October, starting to ramp up rehearsals and things like that, and production. And yeah, we have 4 performances coming up. We have the Rex Theater, in Clay Center, Kansas. That's December 6th at 7 p.m. And then Junction City at the CL Hoover Opera House. That is December 15th, 16th at 7 p.m. and the 17th at 4 p.m.
What do you?
Or 2 p.m. Excuse me.
2 p.m. What do you find is the most unique thing about your performances? If you had to give a reason people should see you.
We provide a great variety of things. So we have chamber groups that play, brass quintet, woodwind group, jazz combo. We have a rock band, and then we all come together as a full concert band. And what you heard in that shot, there was the rock band with the concert band together, doing a little Trans-Siberian Orchestra arrangements. So, and it's great fun, and the concerts are free and open to the public.
I was going to ask if there was a fee for these.
Nope.
They're free?
Absolutely free. It's first come, first serve, so get there quick because it could and hopefully will fill out. And it's just a great time.
Well, I appreciate every opportunity we have to hear the band throughout the year as you travel around and represent the big red one, the
Yes.
Fighting First. So if you would like to see them in their holiday ensembles, their holiday concert, again, Clay Center on December 6th is their first show, and then 3 shows in Junction City at the Hoover Opera House, 7 o'clock, December 15th and 16th, and then that afternoon show on the 17th. Chief Warrant Officer Brian Dorgan, thank you so very much. Appreciate you making the trip over, and
Absolutely.
have a fun holiday season.
Yes, you too.
At the other end of the spectrum is the Kansas Youth Chorale. They are a vocal group comprised of more than 30 students from around the area, young people developing their musical skills. We got to meet director Kay Siebert along with one of the talented young singers, a delightful young lady. Her name is Finnley. They told us all about the group and what they have coming up.
Thank you both for being here. Finnley, it's a pleasure to have you. What grade are you in, and where do you go to school?
I am in 5th grade at Scott Dual Language Magnet.
And how many years have you been part of the Youth Chorale?
This is my 2nd year, and I'm hoping to go through 8th grade.
Is that how long you could? Is that the longest you can be in, is through 8th grade?
Yes.
Goodness. Well, we hope to have you around for several years as well, and then you can keep singing after that. Why did you decide to join the Youth Chorale?
My piano teacher actually recommended it because she knows one of the people, Miss Bear, and I just kind of want to help create music and be able to help her.
What's the best part about creating music and singing?
You get to have all different types of range and being able to learn how to do dark vowels and no bossy R's.
Bossy R's, folks. That's the phrase we're taking away with us today. Miss Siebert taught you that.
Yes.
What is a bossy R?
Well, if there's an R in a word at the end, you don't want to say R like you sound like you're ready for some country swing dance. And
This is more formal singing.
That's right. It's more formal singing than that. So, yeah.
But the singing that you're going to do December 10th, Season of Singing, what is that program going to be like? What's all included?
Well, we have actually a song by Handel, and we have a song, that's by another language, but we also have a bunch of songs that are going to be the holiday season. So a lot of ones you'll recognize, like Jolly or Jazzy St. Nick. And let's see, help me out, Finnley.
What are some of the other good ones?
We have On a Silent Night and All on a Silent Night.
All on a Silent Night, yes.
Stars I Shall Find.
Nice. Those are all beautiful songs. How many singers make up the Youth Chorale, and what age range are they?
We have 37 singers this year, and they're in grades 4th through 8th grade, and we have one 9th grader who came back for a leadership year.
Ah, so that's kind of a neat opportunity that you. What's
It
it
is.
like to bring the young singers together, and what's your primary goal for voices this age?
Well, we want to get these voices together. We want the kids to get to know each other because they all share this love of music, and so that's really cool because they might not find that necessarily anywhere else. And then we just want to share this chance to make music, learn new music, try new things, and share it with other people in the community.
About how many schools are the kids from?
I think 22 this year.
Wow. What is
Yes.
that like for you, Finnley, to get to know people outside of your own school?
It's kind of different but fun at the same time because you get to find out where people go to school, what kind of specific subjects they learn. And then we have a couple homeschoolers who you kind of get used to the,
Kind of a
being at
different
home.
way, yeah, the different way
Yeah.
that they learn. I bet they're interested to hear how you learn as well, being at the dual language school. What is your favorite song that people are going to hear at your December 10th show?
I have 2 favorite songs. My first is Kusi Mama, which is Swahili for Stand Tall, and my second is Cold Snap, which is just kind of a bouncy song that gets you into the winter spirit.
Well, Cold Snap, you'll have to go sing that for Daniel over there. He would like that one.
And you get to sneeze and you get to cough in the middle of it.
Oh my, but you cover your sneezes and
On
coughs.
cue.
On cue.
Yes.
Okay, well, if you are intrigued, because now I am, A Season of Singing, the holiday program from the Kansas Youth Chorale, is Sunday, December 10th. The concert begins at 7 o'clock, taking place at First Presbyterian Church downtown there on Harrison. Advance tickets are $8, which you can get from any of the singers or at community bank locations. $10 at the door, under 12 getting free. And if you're interested in learning more about the Kansas Youth Chorale, they do have auditions in spring typically, you said, Kay?
Well, we do, yes, in May.
Okay, so you
May
can
and
find
June.
out that information on KansasYouthChoraleTopeka.org. Thank you both for being here. Pleasure having you on the red couch in your beautiful blue. Appreciate it. Hope lots of people go to your concert, son. The Kansas Youth Chorale concert is coming up December 10th. There is so much music around Northeast Kansas. We hope you have a chance to really get in the spirit of the season by taking in all of that. There's a full schedule of free lunchtime concerts at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. They have going through December 20th, so no excuse not to get in the holiday spirit with a little bit of music around our area and hopefully around your area as well. If you'd like to see these videos and, of course, videos from all of our guests that appear on Ion Northeast Kansas, you can find them on the Ion Northeast Kansas page of WIBW.com. They are also right there on our YouTube channel, WIBW 13 News. You'll find it right there. Please click subscribe while you're there. You can also find it along with our studio selfies on my WIBW Melissa Bruner Facebook page. Thank you so much for giving us a listen. Until next time, we'll see you on the Red Couch.